Holy phenomenal. You never know what's going to come out of my mouth when I start a YouTube live. It's true. Happy Memorial Day, folks.
Monday.
This is a human.
Most of the time.
Sometimes monster, but mostly human. Yeah. And even when you're a monster, it's a beloved monster.
Thank you.
Friends, as you're coming in to this Memorial Day YouTube Live, this is Dr. Renee Ostertag, and this is Dr. Robin Gisbert.
Nice to meet you.
Let us know if you can see us. Let us know if you can hear us. We are so glad you're here. Where are you tuning in from? Yay, Ida, Catherine, Angel. I'm sure it's not pronounced that way, but I kind of really like having your last name be Angel. Oh, good. Thank you so much. I'm glad you can see and hear us clearly. Today, I'm going to introduce you to Dr. Robin Gisbert, and she is going to lead us through something called conscious swallowing. It is like the cornerstone, the foundation upon which you can learn to really, truly harness and regulate your autonomic nervous system, my friends. Wow. Powerful tool. And it's free.
What's more, it's free.
And you've been doing it since birth. That's amazing. You already know how to swallow. Today, Robin is going to lead us through how to really I'm seeing this image of riding on a horse, right? And you can champion the stallion. So that's what Robin's going to lead us through with conscious swallowing today. Summer is here. Oh my gosh. Good
Summer.
morning. Good morning. Two of my favorite people of all time. Where are you tuning in from? Ida is coming in from north of Norway. Jæjelskadei, my friend. That's pretty much one of the only things I know how to say. And I always forget if that's Swedish, Danish, or Norwegian, but I know that it works across the board. Jæjelskadei means I love you.
Oh.
Yeah, it's very sweet.
Say it one more time for me.
Jæjelskadei.
Jæjelskadei. How'd I do?
Good. Can you feel the elska? I don't know. It's okay. So it's Norwegian. That makes sense. My best friend from the first day of preschool, we're still friends. She lives in Austin. I learned it from her family and then another Danish woman. Oh, good. You're feeling it. You're feeling it. Ida. Good. Jæjelskadei. Everybody who's here. Ida Summer. Who else is chuming in, right? Chuming is the fun from failure. I made a mistake one day because I wanted to say tuning and chiming at the same time. So I made up a word. Tune in and chime in. Where are you coming in from? And in the United States, it's Memorial Day. Are you doing anything today to celebrate and honor that day? Julie Marie is coming in from Scottsdale.
Welcome.
Now, welcome. Where are you coming in from? Chum on in. And what are you doing, if anything, for Memorial Day? And, or if you're not in the States, Memorial Day may not mean anything to you. So what do you do to honor people that have been of service to you? Maybe even given their lives for a cause. It could be anybody. In this country, we're honoring World War I is, I believe, the roots of this, the people that served and fought for this country. But you, wherever you are, have had people give of their lives, maybe their physical lives, or maybe the work of their lives for you. And today is just a beautiful day to remember those that have been in service for your greater good. Oh, Jody,
Canada.
so many kisses to you. I really appreciate you. And I really am so delighted to be here today. I want to introduce you to this amazing woman. Now, Dr. Robin Gisbert is my sister from another mister. We are cut from the same cloth.
Indeed.
So when I say I am a physical therapist with a psychotherapist, they had a baby, they have a spiritual fairy godmother who really loves science, this woman stands next to me. In fact, she is joining the Green Tree Mind team, and we will be developing a nervous system ninja curriculum set to launch in September. So we're very excited, and you'll be seeing more of her today. And tell us about your background.
I'd love to. Before I do that, I think I'm having an impulse to show you my shirt because my shirt is a kitty ninja. Samurai cat.
Samurai cat.
So my background, like Renee, I'm a physical therapist for 30 years. I've been enjoying helping people learn about their bodies, feel more comfortable in their bodies. Meow, meow, meow.
Meow. I'm feeling so called.
Super passionate about cats.
Yes.
And what cats bring to me and the relationship I can have with cats. So 30 years as a physical therapist, which has been absolutely delightful, working mostly with people with neurologic conditions, a lot of work and learning with people with MS, with Parkinson's disease, brain injury, spinal cord injury. And I've spent the last 17 years in academia getting my scholarly brain on. But beyond that, I was really, really blessed to grow up in a household full of the arts. So I've studied martial arts, I've studied dance, I'm a musician, and have pursued, since my physical therapy degree, a lot of training in health humanities and bioethics. So really bringing an artistic side to this world of physical therapy, which we need. It's two sides of the same coin, art and science. They work better together than by themselves.
I'm renewed as to why we make such a great team. We have been teaching and training other physical therapists on resiliency and nervous system regulation for the past 3 years together.
Yeah.
And Robin is the yin to my yang, okay? She brings the cat love, I bring the dog love. She brings the neurological PT background with all the Parkinson's and neurological disorders. I bring the orthopedic background, having spent years in a spine clinic. She brings the like musical art, and I bring the not that. But I do bring the athleticism.
Sporty spice.
Yes, I will be the sporty spice and you will be the arty spice.
Perfect.
Okay. So this is Robin. And you know what? There's another yin to my yang on the mood meter.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, this is an important balance. We've talked about the mood meter in the past, high energy, low energy, high pleasant, low pleasant. And my nervous system's automatic default mode network, like the thermostat setting of where I rest most frequently, is very much in that higher energy place, 5 to 10. And I experience yours as very much in that lower energy place, 1 to 5. And so her low energy is a real good balance to my high energy. It might be interesting for you to think about that as we go into conscious swallowing. I am a big fan of science, as is Robin, and we like collecting data. So let's do a quick pulse check, and then we'll have Robin teach you this conscious swallowing exercise, and then you can reassess your pulse check. So as you're with us here now, I invite you to do an honest inventory. Take a pulse, a reading of your own nervous system. Imagine your brain, your spinal cord, the nerves going down into your arms and legs. There's no good or bad. This is an objective numerical measurement of data. 1 is low energy, sleepy, tired, lack of drive, enthusiasm, and like you just want to kind of be more still. That's a 1. Could be good or bad, pleasant or not. And then a 10 is super high energy. It could be good. It could be bad. You could be anxious. You could be excited. I know this place well. Where is your nervous system? And now, for you to help you learn and remember, put it in the chat. I would be curious to collect this data before and after. So if you would please be so generous and deepen your learning every time you contribute to this conversation, live or later, you learn. So let's run this experiment with some conscious swallowing, and then we'll collect some post-measurement data, and then we'll talk a little bit more about why this works, why it's important, how it affects the vagus nerve, and how you can strategically apply it in your life to become more confident in your coping with managing stress, trauma, and any kind of dysregulation in your nervous system. Awesome. Summer's got a 3 energy and a 6 pleasure. Sounds like a nice low green place to be. Thank you, Summer. Anybody else? Come on in. Robin might have completely changed my life. Solomia, good to see you. Thank you for the heart on fire. Loving it, loving it. All right, Robin, you have changed my life with the introduction, of this exercise.
Is that when you introduce and execute? Is that an introduction and execute?
That's totally what I didn't even know I was thinking.
Yeah.
Introduction, introduce.
So
Execute.
I introduced it,
Yeah.
and you really took this exercise, ran with it, and noticed a lot of things in your body, which is really cool.
I did.
You did it right away.
Conscious swallowing, folks. Dr. Robin.
Let's learn a little bit about conscious swallowing. I'm going to teach the exercise first, and then we can have some discussion and some reflection on what this is all about. Conscious swallowing. You know, you swallow up to 1,000 times a day without even thinking about it. Somewhere between 500 and 1,000 times a day. As a human, we're swallowing more during meals. We swallow during sleep. But all of this happens automatically, subconsciously, unconsciously. We're going to bring high intentionality, this wizard brain, high consciousness. Yeah, turn on brain. To this idea of conscious swallowing. And here's how it goes. It starts with preparation, right? What do they say? Preparation, it matters.
Chance favors the prepared mind.
Who said that?
Somebody really smart.
If anybody knows, that was a
Type
quote.
Type it in the chat because it's a good quote. Chance does favor the prepared mind. Because you're more relaxed and there's a plan and you're going to be okay. It lets you be more confident in your skills and whatever unknowns life bring. You have a plan for it.
Yeah. So let's prepare for this conscious swallow by actively licking the lips. This is a very relaxing activity. So you're going to actively lick your lips and take your time with this. And notice anything that's happening as you're preparing. I just got a huge belly breath. I just have to name it.
Same.
So you actively lick the lips.
I already feel calmer.
And now you can even start to notice your tongue in your mouth. Feel your teeth. Go slow. Even explore the palate or the upper part of your mouth with your tongue. As I do that, I get a deeper breath through my nose, which is a relaxing activity. Notice the sides of your cheeks. All of this exploration to prepare for this conscious swallow. So when you're ready, make a choice to take an intentional deep breath through your nose and a conscious swallow. Let me show you. And take a conscious swallow. I recommend try another repetition or two, 1 to 3 repetitions of this conscious swallow. Take your time. Explore. There's no real right or wrong way. Find your way. And treat yourself to some intentional, conscious swallows. And I'm just getting lighter and more relaxed. My sensation of comfort or pleasure is increasing from where it was for me.
So I'm inviting you, do a scientific data collection, reassess your own nervous system. Do a pulse check, take an honest inventory, 1 to 10. 10 is high energy, 1 is low energy, not good or bad, pleasant or unpleasant. Just how's your engine revving? I feel like mine relaxed, but I also hit a really hard concrete wall that I want to talk through because I think there's oftentimes a lot of barriers, troubleshooting that can come up with this exercise that are very normal and natural places of resistance that people run into. And then they say, oh, it doesn't work. It's like, well, maybe. Have you tried these troubleshooting things? Because we think it can work. But as with anything, when you do something new, it's learning, and there's things to learn to be able to use this skill with a great degree of intentionality and consciousness to maximize your positive change. So tell us in the chat, what did you notice on your reassessment? We'd love to hear anything you want to share. What were the numbers that you noticed? Did you experience a shift? Did you not? What was it that you discovered when doing this exercise? Hi, Owana. Oh, it's so good to see you. I'm glad you're here today. For those of you coming in, who else is here? It's a Big Ben bus trip hour. Marcin, how's it going if you're here? All right. So,
and even if the exercise was difficult, that's a very normal, typical response when someone's first learning this. I would say most often I hear, well, that was kind of hard for me. That felt difficult, or that felt strange. If this felt difficult, strange, new, awkward, you're right where you need to be. That's okay, and that's expected. We can work with that.
Totally. Oh, Julie Marie, thanks for that. It let me laugh. I feel more relaxed, and I noticed my left eye is watery.
Oh, wow.
Fascinating. Watery eyes is like a natural biochemical release.
Relax, release.
Yeah. When things get wet, they're letting go.
I'm gonna have a little sip of water on that note.
I'd also be curious, Julie Marie, left eye, is there any left ear, left neck, left arm? Sometimes there's differences, and they will come out during something like this. So that's a cue for you that this might be a helpful exercise for you to release whatever congestion or incomplete stress response that might be happening on that left side for you. So some of the troubleshooting things, we've heard people say, wow, that was really hard to swallow. Great. You're in good company. Lots of people have that. It doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. No. It sounds like that's a normal, natural part of the learning curve. What do they do if it's hard for them to swallow? What are the instructions?
Yeah. So first, just acknowledge that. Tell the truth. If you're working on this conscious swallow and you're fighting it and it feels hard, just tell the truth about it. If that feels a little difficult, that's okay. That's okay. Notice it. And even practice. Go back to preparation. You know, it would be okay to just stick with just preparation for a while. You could just say, hey, this conscious swallow felt a little tense. It felt a little, maybe even threatening for some people. Go back to the preparation phase. And just lick your lips and be okay with that.
You know, that sounds like anytime you go to the gym, like Olympic lifting, clean and jerk, there's a lot of pieces and parts to that. Let's not start with the clean and jerk.
Yeah.
Let's just start with a deadlift or a squat. So breaking down the movement into parts. So if the whole feels like it's too much right now, very normal and natural for a lot of people, break it down and just do the parts, the preparation. And I'll tell you, I've been playing around with preparation phase only a lot. And I didn't even know I was doing it until we talked about this. I'm at my home, wandering about, feeling stressed, overwhelmed. When I feel stressed, especially overwhelmed, my system will really quickly go into panic. And so I've been working on trading my motor response to overwhelm instead of panic. Whenever I can remember, I do the preparation. And I'm literally walking around like a weirdo in my home. Like making sounds with it if I want to, letting the tongue come out. It really is a nice stretch for the deep part of the tongue. And historically, I hold a lot of tension back here. I've been doing it at the gym on the elliptical, right? Because normally that's a higher energy place. So I'm working on bringing in low energy to match my high. So I'm not revving so high all the time. And that made her take a deep breath. I've been playing around with the preparation phase, walking around Cheeseman Park, being out in public, lowering the excitation level of the circuits in me that are really prone to panic, worry, fear, terror, anxiety, social anxiety, like lizard brain champion over here. And so I've been using just the preparation phase to really help my wizard brain tame my lizard brain. Okay, got a couple comments here. Brian had a slight reduction in shoulder tension. Wonderful. Nice. Solomija, very interesting, relaxed from the first time. Beautiful. Like we can learn to dial the control panel of our stress button. We can learn to adjust. We can play with our systems, gas and brake. And she said that's why relaxation comes after face fitness. Totally.
Oh, yes, very much. Yeah, and then Summer comments that she realizes was easier to do because she was starting in a more regulated state. And that makes so much sense to me, that this swallowing, the more relaxed you are as you're practicing it, the easier to swallow. That makes sense. Okay, I have another tip that comes to mind.
Yeah, and I also just had a click too.
Click.
With what you were saying. Why? So I kind of think of conscious swallowing in a two-part exercise. There's the preparation and then the conscious breath, conscious swallow as part two. And that explains why when I'm walking around, when I'm at the gym, when I'm alone and panicking, I can't do the deep breath and swallow very well. So I focus just on the part one preparation because that's priming my pump to start lowering, because swallow, it's like too far away in my neurological real estate.
Yeah. So after this preparation phase, the exercise is to make this conscious swallow. When and if that's difficult, go ahead and take a sip of water and give yourself something that you enjoy to drink to swallow. Make it more pleasant. So much easier.
So if you're having a hard time bridging from part one to part two, you can swallow something. You can also just use that as feedback and awareness, which is also engaging your more wizard brain. If you can't swallow, that's actually valuable data for you to know that your nervous system is in a higher energy mode, not a character flaw, just biology. And if you want to be exercising or doing something really challenging, that's a good place to be. It's a challenging place if you need to be in a quiet, focused, generative social engagement, connecting with somebody, it's harder to do that when your nervous system's in a higher state. When you were leading us through the conscious swallowing, I want to talk through some of the other barriers that I noticed that maybe are familiar to you. And we'd love to hear, what's working for you with this exercise. What are any potential barriers, right? We've identified if your nervous system's in too high a sympathetic arousal. A, use that for feedback. B, just work on the preparation phase. C, take a drink and be really present to the capacity that your body has to swallow. Panic will oftentimes block us from remembering that our body knows how to swallow.
Yeah.
Here's the next barrier I ran into. This is fucking weird. Total inner
You mean
critic,
like self-consciousness?
judgment, right?
Yeah.
My own self-consciousness. People are judging me. This is weird as freaking
weird.
Weird
is weird.
This is just W-E-I-R-D, W-Y-R-D. It's all the weirds because who does this? This is just weird. Well, I'll tell you, first of all, Michael Jordan does it. So if he does it, I'm going to be okay with that.
Yes.
But as I noticed that inner critic judging and condemning me, what are people going to think of you? You're on a YouTube live. This is like, when are you going to stick your tongue out in the world? I noticed that my tongue wanted to move really fast around, and then I really couldn't swallow. So I was getting in the way with my critical condemnation and judgment of what other people think of me, right? It's terrifying to my people pleaser. Oh my God, somebody's going to judge me. And I noticed that narrative of judging myself because of what other people think of me changed the movement pattern of my tongue. Made it go a lot faster, like, hurry up, get this done. And then I wonder why I clench my teeth and have, issues on the other end. Because if you're clenching here, you're clenching here, right? It's same tube, two different ends.
One tube. This is the beginning of that important tube.
Right. 1, 2, yeah. And Jody says it beautifully, like, feel the weird and do it anyway, which is what I did. And I wanted to bring it up because when you move your body in a different way, it will feel unfamiliar to you and you'll probably call it weird. And so I invite you to run a scientific experiment and just keep gathering data and see what happens as you use this. Jember, a warm hello from the Netherlands. Beautiful to see you, my friend. So that was interesting. I think, keep at it, bring in as much compassion and permission to just try the weird on, because if it helps you have less headaches, if it helps you be less constipated, if it helps you have less jaw, neck, tension problems, if it helps your relationship problems, if it helps you feel more calm and peaceful and less panic, stress, fucking worried about everything all the time, go ahead and feel weird, because I really believe this exercise can do all of that for you with enough reps and strategic application. The second thing that I noticed when I was running into that barrier of my own creation was that it helped to close my eyes. So when I took away the visual cues of other people are looking at me, I was instantly able to find my own breath and then my own swallow. So that might be something else that you can play with. Solomia likes to do weird things and it works. Yes.
Thinking about this with Renee, with her eyes closed, drawing that inward, and the absolute, deep survival, healthy value of this conscious swallowing. Babies, when we're all born, all mammals, but we'll talk about human babies, they have to be able to do 3 things for their survival. And any of you who have had a baby, or if you once were a baby, I was.
Raise your hand. Give us a like. Were you a baby once upon a time? I was like last week. I meant last night.
And you were a successful baby. You survived and thrived because you could do 3 things, and that's breathe, suck, and swallow. These are the 3 things that a human infant needs to do for survival: breathe, suck, swallow. And if you've ever had the pleasure of nursing a baby or watching a baby with a bottle, that babies, they often will, sometimes they'll make eye contact with the mother. It's beautiful, but also there'll be some closing of the eyes, because this is such a primal, deep, important part of survival. So when we treat ourselves to this conscious swallow, boy, what a nurturing, beautiful way to treat that inner baby inside of us, and really give ourselves that type of nurturance, that type of gentle, primal kindness that we need and deserve.
It's so tender and vulnerable. And even if you're not on board with the whole inner child, inner baby conversation, which some people are and some people aren't, I think there's value in that. And or if you have a nervous system that occasionally perceives danger where there isn't threat, particularly life threat, right? Like nervous systems, you're an adult, you have circuits inside your operating system, and some of these programs will register life threat when your partner looks at you funny. You get a text from someone significant to you that wasn't really what you were wanting or expecting, and it's confusing. Your bank account balance might be reflecting something different than you like. All of those potential stressors can lead to an activation of fear that's life threat energy. And this is what I've been actively working on when I can feel the overwhelm rise, when I can feel the panic. And this is what I invite you to do right now. Think of a cue that elicits high threat to you. And as you bring that to mind, start the preparation. And then follow the cue to move into part 2 if and when you're ready for a conscious breath, followed by a conscious swallow. And when you do that, you're helping upgrade the programming of your nervous system out of life threat and back to safety. Jody gave me this gorgeous image a few weeks ago of like my adult self helping the scared little kid self. Like, come on, baby, it's going to be okay. You know, and we can do that to circuits inside of us. Like the character from Inside Out, Fear, running around. It's like, whoa, 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 Fear. Hey, baby. Hey, hi. And you can train the fear to come back down. So that, my friends, is a strategic application that you just did. How to do conscious swallowing to retrain and regulate your nervous system from a very bottom-up strategy instead of a top-down strategy. What are those, by the way? When I say top down and bottom up, can you maybe explain what that is to people?
Yeah, sure. So this idea of top down and bottom up. So this top down, and they're both really valid, important ways to work with ourselves and work with each other to optimize health and enjoyment in life. But this top down approach is really using the mind. So this might even be meditation, which works for a lot of people. It doesn't work for everyone. But this top-down approach, using the mind, you know, I'm going to think my way out of this. I'm going to tell myself to relax. I'm going to some people get nervous for public speaking. When I say some people, that's kind of a joke because I think it's one of the number one fears.
It is the number one.
Yeah.
Like there's that saying of people would rather be in the box at a funeral than giving the eulogy. Have you heard that before?
I haven't.
Yeah.
But it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Number 2 fear is death. Number 1 fear is public speaking.
Wow.
So you'd rather be dead than speaking at the eulogy.
Yeah.
Good time to maybe conscious swallow. How does that,
Yeah.
What were you saying?
Yeah, so that makes so much sense. So the top down approach to that is, maybe one of the tricks is, picture the audience naked. I'm not sure how that works. I guess it depends on your audience. But it's really using the mind, right? I'm going to think my way out of this anxiety. And while that can work sometimes, it doesn't always work. And this bottom up approach is using the body. Exercises with the eyes or exercises just like conscious swallowing and preparing, or even shaking the body, but using the body to try to relax the mind, so to speak. So top down using the mind, bottom up using the body.
Brain to body, it's a two-way street.
Two-way street.
And traffic jams can occur in both directions. And that's part of the art and finesse of being a nervous system ninja is how do you know which one works for you when? Right? I can tell you, maybe you can relate. Have you spent years looping in a place of maybe just top-down strategy? It's funny that I'm pointing to my left brain and it's stuck in a little waffle box, spinning around trying to think its way out of life threat circuitry. It doesn't work quite as well for me. Maybe you can relate. YouTube community, did you try conscious swallowing today? What was your experience? And tell us where, how, and when you could use this in a way that might help you reprogram your nervous system, bring in some more regulation. What is going to help you? I can think of probably a few situations for me. What about you, Robin?
Ooh, I have a tricky one. So, I am highly introverted. People don't always believe that. And I prefer to eat alone. But often in life, I have a family or we go out and there's a lot of noises in a restaurant for me. And my whole life, I've had trouble eating with other people. It'll make me either not want to eat or I'll eat too fast. And then I'll go like, oh, why did I eat so fast? Well, I ate so fast because I was so nervous and my energy was high and an uncomfortable type of high. So I'm going to start using this preparation and conscious swallowing when I'm eating with other people to help relax my body and enjoy my meal and the company that I'm with. That's my application.
Beautiful. I am going to continue my application. I actually was teaching this to a student, client, patient of mine. I don't know what to call you all because
humans.
I was working with a human who's a customer of mine right now. And we were talking about how prevalent social anxiety is for so many people and how we can do like sniper-like super sneaky preparation phase when we're in conversation with other people. Personal, professional, maybe a business meeting. And I've been applying this when I'm in session with people. Just every now and again, super sneaky. I sort of run my tongue along the inside of my mouth against my gums and my teeth. I haven't heard any reports of anybody saying, what are you doing? And it is a beautiful strategy because I have enough reps now. I'm starting to condition and pair the preparation phase with a relaxation response. So I just start moving my tongue around and instantly all this relaxes. And as I do that, it almost makes me want to cry because it's so beautiful. Like I get to connect with people in a new way. I think my whole foundation nervous system, when I relate face-to-face engage with people, virtual or live, has been like sort of, what are you going to think of me? What do I do? How do I please you? How do I perform? What can I achieve? How can I prove? How can I be really smart and show you how wonderful I am so that you like me? And I'm just watching that system go away, because it's actually quite disgusting to me how much of a hold it has had on me as the background operating program anytime I'm face to face with another human. And so I've been doing this super sneaky sniper like phase one preparation on the sly so nobody sees it. So let's see, what all are you going to do? How can you apply this conscious swallowing like the nervous system ninja that you are?
Wow.
Jody, my creator, wants to suggest eating with your hands, just to go all the way down that road, and then the rest won't feel as bad.
Jody, I love that creator comment. And I would say that you must be reading my mind, because eating with my hands is an experience that brings me more comfort. That is just a truth for me. So, fellow creator Jody.
It's so true. I had one of my most favorite meals in my entire life was eating fresh fish out of Lake Victoria in Kenya, and we all ate with our hands.
Oh, wow.
It was so primal and so connecting. And now we're making it explicit. I live alone, and sometimes I sit down on the floor so I can eat with Marcus, who, by the way, didn't make an appearance today, but he's laying on the floor over there. It's like it brings playfulness to a meal. So I love the explicit voicing of things that we already know how to do that could work. And it's probably pretty playful to eat with your fingers, because, you know, if you were a baby or a kid, I'm guessing you did it then too. And so it's a way to kind of tap into those more organic, natural circuits of engagement in the nervous system. Jember, it made me yawn. What is a good sign? And because the exercise is so mindfully, it made me distract from my anxious thoughts. Oh, would you like a free pill to eliminate your anxiety? Thank you, Robin Gisbert. By the way, this is an exercise that was created by her based on thinking through neuroanatomy and seeing what patients needed. So this is a very organically created exercise inspired from somewhere, but really I claim you as the source creator of this. Just like I created slow blinking for people, it was inspired by something someone said about fight or flight and the optic nerves and the eyelids. So, you know, we're creating here together. Oh my goodness. Okay. So what else do we have here? Jember yawned, got out of anxiety. Summer noticed.
Contagious. Yawn was contagious from pretty far away.
Yeah. Jember, Norway? No, I always, sorry. Summer, noticing more burping as I prepare and feel the inside of my mouth, which makes me think this will help with digesting food due to having long GI distress. 1,000% yes. Okay, so we can get rid of anxiety. We can get rid of long-standing GI distress. I would imagine this helps respiratory issues potentially. Who knows? Asthma post-COVID. If you can upgrade and adjust your autonomic nervous system's primal default mode network, this is huge for your health consequences in a good way. Boxing and Bulldogs, my friend. God, it's so
Collaboration
good
Monday.
to see you. Collaboration Monday for sure.
Way to start the week out.
Yeah, Boxing and Bulldogs actually really helped me get this channel going in the last year. And it is because of Boxing and Bulldogs that I do these YouTube lives for you, my friend. Huge shout out to the difference you have made in my world. Sincere appreciation for you. Okay, Jember. I missed summer here. I will definitely do phase 1
Yeah.
prep while interacting with others because I have the same anxiety that I'm describing, Renee, interacting with others, right? Like there's a lot of fear that's been contagious around and like, oh my God, people, like I could die, like COVID. I still see patients that they're afraid to be around other people, and it has nothing to do with other people and everything to do with your own primal fear of death. You can think your way out of that as much as you want. You won't get very far. Please bring in some conscious swallowing when you're around other people. I think it's a gorgeous strategic application of this exercise. Gem Bear, I do need to adjust my expectation because I always want these things to change me into 100% relaxed mode. While I know that's not possible, often makes me want to quit early, aka self-sabotage. I have a thought about how amazing that is. Because to me, that speaks how devoted you are to being well. I want to tell a quick story. I was an athlete in track and field in college. I did the heptathlon, and the 100-meter hurdles was a race that taught me a lot about life. Gem Bear, you are so set on that finish line. And that's amazing because you know where you want to get, what you want to do, and how you want to experience your life.
Yeah.
And I know that I would fuck up a hurdle race every time if I thought about the finish line instead of the hurdle in front of me. And that was the mindset that I adopted. And I also want to validate, I'm right there with you as I'm reorganizing my own GI, irritable bowel, diarrhea, more constipation history because of my high sympathetic drive. It's tricky and it takes reps. So one swallow at a time. And I do validate it's hard.
One swallow to one breath, one swallow, one moment.
Yeah. I'm just going to go super vulnerable here, but I'm human. Over the weekend, I was particularly stressed about something and I can feel the tension in my jaw. And I kept having these like, the guts who cried wolf. I kept thinking I needed to go to the bathroom and then, I go, nothing's happening. And it's because my system's so wound up. And like, okay, guts, you keep crying wolf, you need a poo, you don't, what's happening? I've been really working on the conscious swallow, the preparation phase especially, and it is hard. So let's be in the hard together. Gem Bear, you, me, and everybody, because learning is hard. So if it's uncomfortable, you're doing it right. Boxing and Bulldogs, thank you so much. Oh my gosh, my generous friend just gave me $1.99. Woohoo! Thank you, my friend. I am learning. You can apparently pay during a YouTube live. So if this was valuable for you, we'd appreciate anything you want to give. No pressure. When you do give, it helps the channel grow so I can continue to develop more free content for people. So we can develop more free content for people. Okay, Summer. I want to see how phase 1 or both phases helps with my chronic clenching, grinding teeth during the day.
Yeah.
And wow, it's a light bulb moment.
I love it. Boop. This one tube, all of it's connected. It starts with the lips, then the mouth, then this back of the throat and the swallow and down that tube and tummy and winds around. And finally we get to void, and we hope to void in health, but really natural to be having tension around that constipation or irritable bowel, diarrhea. So this is something we can control. Boy, you get in these gut problems and it feels so, can feel sort of hopeless or helpless or stuck.
I can't let go.
But this is something you can control. I'm going to share, we've really been focusing on this conscious swallow, practicing a lot of it with each other, on our own, with people in our office. And the consistency for my own bowel health just changed. It's just been so much more regular. And I really attribute it to this repetition of practicing. And, I can really relate to this idea of wanting to, jump ship. Hey, it's not working. I don't see an instant result. But this is something I can control. And what a gift to know what I can control. And what I can control is just doing this exercise. I can choose to do it. I can choose not to do it. I can choose how long I stick with it, how much attention I pay, and how frequently I do it. And this way puts me back in the driver's seat. I'm just choosing this exercise.
Talk about locus of control, putting me back in the driver's seat. Robin, let's talk for a second about expectations, right? Expect stumbling blocks. It's going to be hard. Is it like 2 to 3 weeks before people could see a change? How many times a day? Do you have any thoughts around that?
Yeah, I do have some thoughts. And my thought is, I don't know. I don't know, because the state of one's nervous system is probably going to predict that. So it's one of those things, maybe in this, some of you experienced a shift in your nervous system in the 10 seconds that we practiced it. Some people may need to stick with it a little longer to really feel that shift. So I think what I'm really landing on is I'm really curious to hear more from people. My gut, no pun intended, my gut tells me that this is going to be really varied for people. Yeah. Like anything else. If you're starting at the gym and you've already been working out, you might see different results than if you're really new to the activity. So I'm growing more and more comfortable with not knowing and seeing how the experiment goes for folks. I'd love to hear back.
I'm going to play devil's advocate. Yeah. I don't like that at all. Right? Like there's a lot of people and I've been there and still am sometimes. Yeah. How many? What is this? What do I need to do? How is this going to work? And so what I lean into when that comes, it's kind of a both and. Like, we don't know. Let's keep running experiments and see what happens, because you are an N of 1 and you get to collect your own data and run experiments. I do know that creating a new habit can take anywhere from 8 to, I think it's 252 days. So it can take a while. Neurologically, if you spend 7 minutes a day doing some new activity, you'll build a new neural network within 21 days, but it's a very kind of fragile network and doesn't withstand big storms. So it's kind of like a light strength. If you do 7 minutes a day for another 21 days, you get a more medium strength circuit. If you do 21 days, 7 minutes a day, through 3 cycles through, you get a pretty strong neural network, and then you can maintain it. 7 times 7 minutes a day, if maybe you spend 30 seconds doing phase 1 and or 2, 30 seconds, if you do that 14 times a day, that's concrete for you as a starting place. And I would recommend be patient, as compassionate as you can, because this can take 2 to 3 weeks, maybe, before you actually notice a change that's perceptive and meaningful to you. So that's what I would say there. Jody, it's okay to be a loving friend to your nervous system. Oh my God, Summer gave me $5. Boxing and Bulldogs, you have set into motion something very exciting. And actually, Robin over here taught me about rejection therapy. I actually saw Jia Jiang speak years ago. He's got this book, Rejection Proof. So if this was valuable and meaningful for you, would you be willing to donate? We love you either way. It's a practice of making requests. Thank you so much, Summer. Thank you so much, Boxing and Bulldogs. There really is gorgeous value exchange here, and we enjoy the giving and we enjoy the receiving. So give yourself the gift. What of reflection? What are you taking away from today? What insight? What aha? What do you want to take with you? And when you put that in the chat, it helps you learn it deeper and celebrate and hold accountability Change is hard. Learning is uncomfortable. So if you're uncomfortable and things feel hard, way to freaking go, because you're doing it right. What's your takeaway from today, Robin? It's your first YouTube live and you will be seeing more of her. What do you want to celebrate, acknowledge, win? What's your takeaway?
I mean, so many. And one I think that I would like to share is just how this simple exercise can shift me in a short amount of time. And I just really loved hearing the different responses that this helped people shift their energy, that we saw some changes in Brian's muscle tension around the neck. And that one simple act of self-care can shift a person's nervous system. So just a beautiful reminder. The power of something simple, and that simple things can be potent.
I think this quote is attributed to Einstein. Who knows? I like attributing it to Einstein. If the solution is simple, God is talking. And it's true. Like the McKenzie method with the low back, it's so simple. It's almost like there's no way that can work. And it absolutely does. And there's so much research and science to show and prove. My takeaway is, again, how we're wired for connection and community. And when we are all in paralytic circuits of I can't swallow and I can't breathe, we're breeding an infection of disconnection. And we can change this. And I'm so thankful to you for showing up here today and contributing and participating to spreading a different sort of positive, good, healthy virus around, like positive gut flora, bacteria. Through conscious swallowing, you can learn to champion your nervous system in ways that you didn't know possible. And you can tune in, activate the circuits within you that are generative, restorative, and capable, and give me confidence in the mantra. Tissues can heal and trauma can end. Solo mija. I will try to use this knowledge in some unpleasant conversations. Yes, absolutely. Summer loves how much can be gained from the preparation phase versus the performing phase, since our lives are so targeted to focus on just the performing phase of something. You know, I think about high-level people, and the performance that we see is the tip of the iceberg, and the rest of it has been preparation for them to be able to deliver.
Yeah, it's a nice reminder of that.
Thank you, everybody. Let's give a warm welcome to Robin on the Nervous System Ninja Development Team. And I have really enjoyed this time today.
I'm going to show you the cat one more time.
Ninja Kitty! Everybody, have a good week. I'm going to be keeping in touch with what I'm doing with these live YouTube streams, because there's some perturbations and change in the air. So stay tuned, my friends. Have a good week, and we will see you next time.